Check. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This episode number 212. I am sipping on a Liquid Death. This is their lemonade tea. Honestly, this is like the first ever Liquid Death I've had. And I gotta say, it's really mid. Liquid Death, murder your thirst. Liquid Death tries so hard to make, like, their whole business model is based off of drinking water is gay. Like, that's what they're going off of. Rape your thirst. This psychotic can of tea/lemonade will use agave and B vitamins to savagely murder your thirst and turn its insides into balloon animals to book gigs in a children's birthday party. I don't know what any of that means, but they're trying to make drinking water less gay, which it's not even gay, but there's like, I guess people out there that's like, drinking water makes me a homosexual. You're drinking unflavored water? Gay! I can't be around you. I'm scared I'm going to fall in love with you. Because you drink water. Yeah, so starting off with a good song. This is Die Young because, well, I mean, if you haven't noticed, World War III may or may not have popped off. Like, Israel, I kind of called this last episode. I literally did call this last episode. I said, when they were doing the No Kings protest, I said, this is a distraction. Let's investigate what actually is going on. I said, what is this a distraction for? Most likely. And I typed in what's going on in the Middle East, and I said tensions with, and it said tensions with Iran raise. So this was, I mean, the whole No Kings protest. Also, the No Kings protest turned out to be a whole lot of absolutely nothing. Like, guys, what I couldn't even tell you right now what No Kings protest was about, and I legitimately covered it. I don't know what it was about. It was just like a lot of people. It was like, I guess, an anti-Trump protest, but it's like, what was it for? The Democrats right now need to get a game plan because they don't have a game plan. Also, the No Kings protest, after a little investigation, turned out to be sponsored by or funded heavily by one of the heiresses to the Walton Walmart fortune and a partnership with a Jewish man. So an heiress to the Walton Walmart family and a Jewish man. Not that that matters, but it is of note since we're talking about distraction techniques and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like No Kings. I don't even know what it's for, and I really honestly don't care, and it will probably never happen again. I don't know. You got to think like, organizing a protest, you have to like tell the city which route you'll be walking, where you're going to be, where the finish is, where the start is, how many people estimated to come. All this has to go through like several steps, and that requires like there's someone who does that and someone who gets paid for it, and that is I think the only true protest is one that happens impromptu and becomes a how do I say a problem, a serious issue in a good way. Like, that's the only kind of protest I think that's worth anything, is a protest that happens impromptu and becomes an issue for everyone involved, and one that legitimately scares rich people. If rich people are scared, this is how you know a protest isn't anything. If rich people are chill. Like, if there's rich people taking pictures and recording videos and, like, leaving their houses unboarded, that's how you know that it's a chill protest. When politicians and or rich people are legitimately terrified, that's when a protest is worthwhile. So, you know, I don't think I've lived through a protest where people were legitimately scared. So, I mean, let's just continue on with the news. Yeah, World War III possibly starting. I mean, no big deal. We've seen this 1,000 times. Honestly, I think in my life it's been threatened that World War III has been started 4 times. Once when Hillary was running, and they're like, Hillary's going to start World War III. Another once Trump became president, and they're like, he's going to start World War III. And I guess now it's like 3 times in recent memory. Now we're like World War III starting. This is sort of the led to the idea that nothing ever happened, quote unquote, the nothing ever happens philosophies, where, you see all this shit going on, but nothing ever happens. I don't really even know. It's sort of like rhetoric that people use. They say nothing ever happens, and they say that all the time. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. Let's ask ChatGPT what nothing ever happens means. Okay, here it is. It's prompting. What does nothing ever happens mean? The phrase nothing ever happens is often used to express a sense of boredom, stagnation, lack of significant events, or excitement in a particular context. It can convey feelings of frustration or disappointment when someone perceives their life, environment, or specific situation as uneventful or unchanging. The phrase is subjective to depends on the speaker's perspective. Someone might say nothing ever happens in a small town to describe a lack of activities, events. Okay, well, that people might be using it humorously or ironic. The phrase gained some traction in internet culture, particularly posts on X, where users might use it to comment on overhyped situations or a lack of progress on ongoing stories, political, entertainment, news. If you'd like, you can search X for specific examples, whatever. So nothing ever happens is, I think it is true in a sense, and I think nothing ever happens is a extension of the underlying like nihilism that people feel in the culture right now, where people don't feel that anything ever changes. Nothing ever happens because it doesn't matter who you vote for. Where are the Epstein files? Donald Trump, where are the Epstein files? Nothing ever happens. Donald Trump, where's the $4 trillion you're supposed to save by doing Doge? Nothing ever happens. Selling it to Palantir. Now we're even like more in cahoots with the spectator observation overlords, technocracy. Nothing ever happens. Nothing good ever happens, really. What else? What else is there? Israel's bombing Palestine, creating a what most people, myself included, is I think an attempt to eradicate the Palestinian people, which in most definitions amounts to genocide. So they're doing that, and then just as a side gig, they decide to bomb Iran, which I believe are also Muslim people. So this is and they've been doing this. I think that they've been doing this for a while, and actually, I mean, stuff is happening. Technically, stuff is happening. People are dying, but as far as the response, nothing really happens. I mean, we're in constant war. If you've ever read the book 1984, it's interesting because his view of the worst future is, Big Brother, quote unquote Big Brother, who you don't even know is alive or whatever. He's just a face. Is one always watching you, and there's like the world is split into like 3 or 4 factions, different areas, geological locations. So it's like North America, Europe, Asia, Russia, and they're always in quote unquote conflict. They're always having wars with each other, but no one even knows if the wars are even happening. They're losing, sometimes they're winning, they gain war footing, But the leaders of those factions, it's not a real war. They're not trying to gain or any territory or lose any territory. They're just trying to keep everyone in a constant state of war, because war is peace. That's the whole thing in that book. Well, not the whole thing. It does explore cool language ideas and stuff like that. But I just don't know. Like, I'm glad that America hasn't hopped in this war. I mean, a lot of people have said, "Oh, you're going to get drafted." Thankfully, I'm not going to get drafted. The last time I think it was on the podcast. The last time I thought World War II was going to happen, and I said back then I was in breach of federal law, maybe, but I think the statute is passed, but because I'm 7 years past 18, where I didn't sign up for the draft. So I wasn't going to get drafted anyways until, unless they like rolled up at my parents' house and be like, "We hear you have a 15-year-old. We want him on the front lines." That's my attempt at a German accent, but yeah, now that I'm 26, I cannot be drafted. So dodging that, I would shoot myself in my foot or something with my pistol and just say I had a misfire or something. Which would hurt, but I'm just going to be honest here, guys. You will never catch me fighting for Israel. There aren't many things I would rather that would I can see myself. I don't know how to say this without sounding anti-Semitic, but I just don't want to fight for Israel. I just don't. I don't like their leader. I don't like their ideology, and I don't like Israel's view on other people that aren't Israeli/Jewish. And I don't like the constant bombing. I don't like Netanyahu. I think, I tweeted this out, but I do wish that getting out of the draft was as easy as getting out of jury duty. Like if you're in jury duty, they ask you, they bring you up, and they're like, "Is there anything?" I had to do jury duty one time, but I did get out of it. They bring you to the thing, and they're like, "Is there anything that could stop you from remaining impartial during this thing?" And I'm like, "Well, I actually hate police officers," or whatever. I don't know what I said, but they're like, "Oh, okay, well, you can leave." So, but I wish there was something like that for the draft. Like they come to your thing and it's like, "Is there anything that would prevent you from fighting on the side of Israel?" It's like, yes, I believe Netanyahu is a demonic entity, is possessed by a demonic entity, and he is farming souls. And then they just kind of look at me blankly, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're not far off." I truly don't know what is wrong with Netanyahu, where he wants to. Why is he so hungry? He's so hungry for war. And look at this. I got this clip. This is like classic propaganda. This is Netanyahu, supercut of Netanyahu through the past, all the way to 1995. Him talking about, what was it called? Iran having nukes. That's what this whole thing's over, by the way. Iran has nukes, guys. Oh no, Iran has nukes. People with brown skin might have nukes soon. That's a scary thought. That's what they're saying right now. So a Muslim country is going to have nukes, guys. That's really bad. It doesn't matter. Everyone has. I've been saying this from the very beginning. If you want world peace, just give every country a nuke. America probably has the nukes to spare. Give every single country a nuke, and we have world peace. If everyone can just shoot off a nuke, well, maybe not everyone. Maybe you don't want to send it to everyone. Like, you don't want to give like maybe the indigenous tribes in the middle of Australia a nuke, because I don't know if they know how to like they might just end up nuking Australia. But and that's not racist. I'm just saying you don't want to just hand out nukes like candy. But that being said, let's listen to Netanyahu talking about Iran for probably 20 years using the exact same script.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could.
So this first clip is from 2025, and I'm going to say the date on him as they go backwards.
Be a year. It could be within a few months.
They have the
2018.
wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran
2015.
is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away
2012.
from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to have
2006.
to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen,
1996.
time is running out.
Iran will be capable of
1995.
producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not,
This is, and now we're back to 2025. This is classic. I mean, this is just classic. You got they have bombs. I mean, this was the whole, I definitely think there might be like another 9/11 coming. That's 100% going to be another false flag for us to intercept and invade Iran. If you've ever watched 9/11, The New Pearl Harbor, the reason they call it the Pearl Harbor is because during Pearl Harbor, that was our excuse to join World War II. We knew they were coming. We knew the Japanese were coming to Hawaii, and we let them bomb us as an excuse to join. That's the whole argument. Whereas in 9/11, we knew they were coming, and we let them hit the towers. And, well, it was obviously a controlled demolition. Look at the squibs. Look at steel beams. The whole jet fuel thing. It fell in its perfect free fall, fell in its footprint. Building 7, all these questions. I've done a whole episode on 9/11, but I think that there is going to be, and I don't want to like manifest this situation coming to being, but it feels like we are due for a major 9/11 event, and it's gonna be blamed on Iran. Bonus points if it's blamed on both Iran and Palestine, and it might be something as small as random bot or like the Las Vegas shooting, which was another operation which is very questionable. How do you fire 300 rounds in 14 minutes, whatever, or 300 rounds a minute, something like that, for 15 minutes with one dude? How did he get all of his guns in there? I think that guy's name was Stephen Paddock. Is that guy's name? That whole thing is questionable. And also, it's the biggest mass shooting of all time, and no one ever talks about it. When's the last time and it barely had a investigation into the person, and but that's a whole nother thing. We are going through the conspiracies right now. Let's talk about Sandy Hook. Kidding. I don't want to get sued. I want to get sued for $2 billion like Alex Jones, which is crazy. Those families are greedy. That's asking for $2 billion for saying that Sandy Hook may have been I don't even know what he said, that they were crisis actors. There were some people that were laughing in videos. I don't know why you would laugh if your sister just got shot in a school. I don't know. But, it does make you think, is that just how they grieve? Or, and then, so they're laughing and then they lock in. There's videos. Go look it up. Whatever. I'm not even going to go into the whole thing because I don't know if it's true. I don't know about it. So, but I do know that he's being sued for $1 billion, which is crazy. All right, let's go into it. I mean, Israel versus Iran. We didn't see. Also, what's going on with India and Pakistan? Weren't they beefing? No one really cares about them. It is super funny that India's and Pakistan are trying to pop off like anyone cares about them, and they're like, I think every single person is like, hey guys, it's like when everyone just kind of stands back, like when your friend is about to get, like the friend you kind of don't like is about to get into a bar fight, and everyone's like, well, I mean, should we stop him? Everyone's like, well, he's kind of an asshole. Not that he's kind of an asshole, but everyone just doesn't like him. And so everyone's just kind of standing back, and they're like, well, I mean, we got to let them duke it out. So Pakistan versus India, I think is still happening. Should we just Google it? India, Pakistan. I saw India Air just happened. That was a plane crash where one person survived and by jumping out, but I don't know. Let's see. Thawing the ask India for a ceasefire. This happened 13 hours ago. Ask India Pakistan Deputy PM viral administration on Op Sindor. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishkar Dar was said that the country has compelled to request a ceasefire in India last month and later struck two of its two. Wait. So they got 100% of their air bases struck because they only have two. Two of their two. So all. This is so funny. India last month after the latter struck two of its two air bases. That is such a weird way to say that all of their air bases were hit. But we don't really even care about India, Pakistan right now because they've been overshadowed by Israel and Iran. Now, before we start, I don't want this to be. There's like a saying, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. That's not the saying I'm using. I'm just saying, don't mistake my disapproval with Israel as support for Iran. Same with Palestine. I don't want you to conflate those things. I'm not pro Hamas or whatever. I'm not a big fan of terrorists. I'm not a huge fan of them. But when it's terrorists versus, literal demons. Okay, whoa. I mean that in the term of they're killing a ton of people. Like, I don't mean it in any sort of way. Like, I just mean that they're like farming. They are a cloud of doom over a lot of things, right? We'll just put it there. So that's when they say pick worst of two evils, I think the evil that is bombing children might be the one that I don't pick. Even though, and this is true, the biggest the saddest part during any sort of like event like this are the innocent people that get injured, because no one cares about the terrorists and no one really cares about the IDF soldiers. It's the kids that get bombed and shot in the head and whatever, burned up and all this shit. It just fucking sucks, dude. It just sucks. I'm so tired of it. I don't even know what you can do. I think the only thing that everyone can do is just not fight. Like if I got drafted and was next to like an Israeli force, I might be a legitimate issue. Like if they told me, if I got drafted, my commanding officer on the front lines, and they told me to execute a family, like breach and execute a family of Palestinians, I might execute that guy. Like I'm just saying, hypothetically, if like my Israeli commanding officer, when I got drafted, I was fighting over there or whatever, told me to execute a Palestinian family, I might just become an issue. That's all I'm saying. Like, you wouldn't want to give me a weapon. Like, that's the whole thing I don't understand about the draft is, like, how do you, like, you can't really even trust the people that you're drafting. I want to say 80% of the people my age are probably not thrilled about Israel and what they're doing. And that's on both sides. I mean, that's legitimately on both sides. I want to say everyone is not a fan of what Israel's doing. The only people who are fans of what Israel are doing are people who are heavily invested in military assets, like Lockheed Martin, people who make money from Israel, super PACs, that type of stuff, the APAC, what is it called? The AI something. I think it's called the APAC or something like that. But it's like the Israeli super PAC that they got going on. Global nuclear watchdog warns strike on Iran Bushehr nuclear plant would be disastrous. European officials seek to revive Iran diplomacy as Trump delays decision. Yeah, Trump left the G7 meeting, whatever that is. Half of Iran's missile launchers have been destroyed, according to IDF chief of staff. Bringing them home is a moral and national imperative, and the IDF is working tirelessly to achieve it. The operations we are conducting in Iran these days are also contributing to that goal. He added that Israel is preparing a wide range of possible developments. The campaign is not over. Although we have made significant achievements, difficult days are still ahead. That's great. We love to hear it. Trump administration announces sanctions to undercut Iran's weapons programs. Why do people hate Iran? Can I ask AI that? Why do people hate Iran? What did Iran do? Why? Let's ask Grok. Grok, why do people be hating Iran so damn much? People's negative views on Iran often stem from a mix of geopolitical, culture, and media-driven factors. Historically, tensions kicked off in 1979 Iran Revolution when the U.S.-backed, of course, the U.S.-backed Shah was overthrown, and the new Islamic Republic took hard anti-Western stance, especially after the U.S. Embassy hostage crisis. Okay, so that was like Desert Storm era, I think. Media plays a big role too. Western outlets often frame Iran as a rogue state, emphasizing its anti-American rhetoric and missile tests, while downplaying contexts like U.S. sanctions or Israel covert ops against Iran. On the flip side, Iran's own propaganda doesn't help, with its death to America chants alienating people who might otherwise sympathize, which may in itself be propaganda. Cultural misunderstanding, like regimes' conservative dress codes clashing with liberal values. So they put their women in bags. So they put women in bags. I mean, that's not a huge issue. I mean, really, some of the women here could use that. Like, if you're at the gym, no one wants to see your entire ass. Like, maybe a bag. Maybe that's when we bring Sharia law. Maybe we make that sort of a compromise. Sharia law only in gyms. Israel expects European officials to demand complete rollbacks on Iran's nuclear program. So this is all about nuclear, whatever. What's going on? Is it because they're Muslim? Is it because, and why do we support Israel in this? That's one thing I don't understand, is why are we so ride or die with Israel? The fact that we are ride or die, and also I don't think Trump has really said anything yet. Like, if Trump goes to war, if Trump says, yo, Israel, I got your back, ride or die, then we have a serious issue. That means that the head of the U.S. government is compromised and a wing of the Israeli government. That's what that means to me. And at that point, we are no longer America. That's when it's grounds for, like, revolution type shit. Not saying that anything needs to happen. But if that happens, it's grounds for, like, yeah, we got to get this country back. We've got to get this country back from Israel. If that happens, is what I'm saying. There are some pretty funny. This is a post from TikTok of this guy playing the saxophone. It actually is pretty beautiful. This scene. This is a beautiful scene. This guy's playing the saxophone while the it's called the Israel Iron Dome. There's a bunch of just a barrage of missiles, and it looks like stars are falling from the sky. Like stars. They're missiles, but it looks like shooting stars all across the sky. Just trailing across the sky. And this guy's just shredding on the saxophone. Man, he's just playing with all of his heart, all of his soul. This is how the world ends, by the way. Just to a sweet saxophone riff. While bombs drop, people record on their rooftop. This is a rooftop bar in Lebanon. Oh, okay, no, so this is in Iran. Oh wait, no, Lebanon is in Israel. So this is a missile attack from Iran to Israel. Also, I didn't know Israel and Iran were even close. Like, how far do these missiles have to travel? So this is an Israeli rooftop, and this guy's just shredding on his saxophone, playing from the heart, and this is how the world ends. Just to sweet saxophone riffs. That is sweet. That is just sweet. That does make me feel good. Netanyahu, thankfully, listen to this. Netanyahu said, God, is there a worse language than Israeli? I mean, this sounds... She's saying there are plenty of weddings canceled in Israel, or God forbid, not canceled but postponed. You're the one father in this country. You're the one person in that has control over this. Did it not bother you? Did you not receive pressure at home? Maybe next week. No, first of all, Avnar and his fiance and the family, I don't know. I couldn't tell him. Pretty much what he said is, I understand the true cost of war. My own son had to postpone his wedding. He said his own son, because of his war with Iran, he had to postpone his son's wedding. Which, I mean, leave it to Jewish Prime Minister to complain about starting a war. I mean, to complain about... You're the one who started it. And to complain about it. You know how poetic it would be? It would be like a full Greek tragedy if his own son killed him and usurped him. And, and then what if it went, like, full crazy? Like, he tears out his eyes from what he's seen, or... We need that. We need the Greek... We need a little bit of Greek action going on right now. We need, and that's to say we need justice. We need something... in all the Greek plays, they always have... The reason they end like they do, they always have some sort of godly interaction, whether it's like Zeus coming down from above and being like, hey, I'm going to help out in this war and give strength to one of these warriors, or whatever. We need a full Greek ending. We need Oedipus to come, realize that, what is this, Netanyahu's son comes and finds out that he's actually not Netanyahu's son. He's the son of the Iranian prime minister, and then you've got yourself a good storyline. Let's see what's going on. This was actually, I mean, for all the bad news that's happening right now, it really does bury the good news. But this right here, this is good news. This is good news. 109 children rescued Oh God, my ad blocker. Oh my God. Okay, 1 sec. Here it is. 244 arrested. Let me say that again. 244 people arrested. 109 children rescued. This isn't just arresting people. This is an actual rescue operation. Multi-agency child exploitation operation announced by FBI Dallas. They arrested 244 people. This is like good news. For all the bad news that's happening, here's all their photos and all their names. This is an operation. And I mean, all these people, they look like, you know, trash people. This operation is happening. Also, this guy looks like, what's that guy's name? From Walter White. This guy legitimately looks like Walter White. But the North Texas Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and the FBI Dallas North Texas Child Exploitation has announced the conclusion of Operation Satire Shield, a month-long collaborative effort conducted in April 2025 aimed at rescuing children from online sexual exploitation and bring predators to justice. The operation has run in conjunction with the National Internet Crimes Against Children. These people, 244, like, guys, you don't realize how big of a news this is. This is what should have been happening, and this is what should be happening every day forever. This right here. They should always be grabbing these people and honestly executing them. But that's a whole different story. But they 109 children rescued. This is heroic. Operation Sotera Shield resulted in the rescue of 109 children and the rest of 244 offenders. In addition, these enforcement actions, investigators seized extensive volumes of digital evidence, including, terabytes, stored electronic devices. These devices were undergoing forensic analysis. I mean, an operation this big, why can't they do this? And this is my only problem, because this is good news. Why can't they do this and investigate? I mean, 244 is a big number. Why can't they even get 12 people in upper politics, in upper management, CEOs, whatever, the chiefs, the C-suite? Why can't they get even 12 rich people, but they can get 244 poor people? Child exploitation shouldn't be based, the legality of it shouldn't be based on how rich you are. If you're rich, protected, and powerful, it shouldn't make it any more avoidable. They should be dragging people that are incorporated in the Jeffrey Epstein situation. They should be doing the exact same thing. But that's big news right there. That's like Pizzagate level busts that need to be happening all the time. 244 is just a crazy number. I can even imagine 244 people to coordinate getting that done. I mean, huge props to those people, and even rescuing they didn't even just make arrests; they rescued the children. So I mean, I haven't heard anyone even talk about that. Not a single person. Not the news. Not anyone on TikTok. It's just good news. What else happened? Oh yeah, Minnesota lawmaker got shot, I think. Some Minnesota...
An assassin killed a lawmaker and seriously hurt another.
More than 100 police officers searched for 2 days before finding 57-year-old Vance Belter. Belter evaded law enforcement for more than 40 hours, but they found him south of the Twin Cities late last night. We have team coverage of how this deadly attack went down. Derek James is here with the stunning new details that we learned today. Derek?
Amelia, we're learning more about the earliest hours of Belter's alleged attacks. Prosecutors revealed today.
So this guy dressed up as a cop with a fake mask, fake face. I don't know how they know it's him, but he showed up to the house of a lawmaker. Here's a picture of him with his mask on. And police lift shelter. Let's see. So they've been tracking him down for a while now. Yeah. So, I mean, just the weirdest part is him dressed up as a police officer with a fake head, like an entire fake face, and then shooting specifically this guy. And I don't know what he did. He shot. Who did he shoot? New Hope, officers. Who did he shoot? He shot a lawmaker. Republican Melissa Hortman and John Hoffman. So, representative and senator. So, Hortman and her husband were fatally shot in their home. So, this immediately raises questions, and a lot of them. Now, if I was a conspiracy-minded person, I might think that this is a warning shot. This is a warning shot from the people that control what's happening to tell as just a blast-out warning to everyone else on how they should be voting. So this person voted against something. I think it voted. So they were, I think, both Democrats, and they voted against something that was that they voted against the other Democrats. Like they were the defectors or whatever. That may be what this is some sort of warning signal. Hey guys, these guys voted wrong. This is not how you vote. That's how, if I had to guess, that's how I see it. And then this is his brother. His brother's here reading the text that he got, which sounds 100% suspicious.
Maybe dead shortly.
He says, I may be dead shortly. He's reading the text that he got from his, this is his roommate.
So I just want to let you know I love you guys both, and I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way.
I don't want to implicate you in any way. This guy may have texted this to himself.
Because you guys don't know anything about this.
You guys don't know anything about this.
But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused. He was a loving, caring guy. Loved his family, loved his friends, and loved God.
Let me check my post I got from Luigi Mangione. You don't know anything about this. I haven't told you a single thing about this. You don't know who I am, and you don't know where I'm at. That's kind of how it reads. I don't want to implicate you, and you know nothing about this. It just sounds strange, and I don't know. There's so many ways that this could be. That guy could have been just a Manchurian candidate, just triggered by some secret code. I always like thinking about that. Like Sirhan, the guy who just woke up and he's like, I don't even remember killing, was it RFK? RFK's dad or something like that? Robert Kennedy, I think that's what was going on. But he just woke up and he still to this day says, I don't remember killing that guy. He was just woke up out of a trance. I think I read somewhere too that they said that Sirhan tested extremely high for suggestibility, like being able to be hypnotized, that type of stuff. Let's go on to the let's finish this out with some the Army Parade. This thing is just, this is so crazy. So Trump had a parade to show off the Army for his birthday, and I think it's like the 205th birthday for the Army, 250th. So they brought out all the stuff. So they have their little robot dogs, And this is just a good display of what you can expect and what you can look forward to under a totalitarian military state. Look at these dogs.
Now, let's roll on to the future of Army readiness.
The future of Army readiness.
The Army Research Laboratory robot dogs reflect the latest in Army innovation. Look at this. Much like a true canine, these robots can go where soldiers cannot. They have increased mobility, improved tactical awareness, reduced risk to soldiers, and enhanced teamwork. Replacing soldiers, robot dogs can explore terrain that may be difficult for soldiers to traverse, dispose of explosive ordnance, and act in defensive posture or aggressive capacity when armed.
I know this Army stuff is supposed to like pump you up and be like, "Yeah, caca, USA," but really, all of this technology that they're showing, this is a display of force against their own populace. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. This is a display of force against you, the person who lives in America. They're saying, hey, we could just as easily use these dogs to invade your house. They might as well say, these are great for housebreaking. These housebroken, they sneak in like these housebroken dogs don't have to pee or poop, but they could still break into your house, kill you in your sleep. They can run at 45 miles per hour. Don't try to get away. Don't try to get away on foot. Armed with explosives. They can. I think he literally said they're armed with explosives. They can be armed with explosives.
That act in defensive posture or aggressive capacity when armed.
When armed. They have an aggressive capacity when armed. And they got the rock music, and they got the birds flying overhead. And who showed up to this thing? This is like a shitload of people. They got the planes, the choppers flying. This guy has his little remote control dog.
The Ghost Robot Dog is another
Ghost
innovation
dog.
that can adapt seamlessly for various missions from recon to bomb recognition.
Recon to bomb recognition.
These dogs reduce risk and support soldiers completely in high-stakes missions. They have a standard walk speed of 2 miles per hour and are working towards 6.7 miles per hour sprint.
I can do that. 6.7 mile an hour sprint. Who's cheering? I want to know who's cheering. I want to know who's cheering for a bomb dog. This is just what we have to look forward to, though. Is dogs chasing you in the street. I always think back to COVID when, it's also a funny thing. Guys, this is the weave. This is the Trump weave. We're coming back full circle. The No Kings protest was, I mean, it's just kind of funny how the whole No Kings protest is about, like, I guess, the whole idea of like a no king, you don't want authoritarianism. But I guarantee you all the liberal people that were there were immediately on board with like mandated vaccines for jobs, masking everywhere, the 6 feet shit, all that stuff. They were probably 100% on board with, and they actually wanted to force people to do that. So it's like, they're saying you can't force people to leave and stuff, but they want to force people to do stuff when it benefits them. That's the hypocrisy is the thing I hate the most, is when people can't see it from both sides. They can't see how what they might be doing could be seen as gay and retarded. Mainly. That's my main issue, is when people can't see what they're doing as gay and or retarded. And that takes practice, and it takes responsibility. It takes inward thinking to realize when you're being gay or retarded. And I mean those both in the derogatory term. So let's just go on to TikTok time. I don't want to even talk about. Oh, it is Juneteenth. It is Juneteenth though. So, shout out. Is it Juneteenth? It's the day after Juneteenth, but it is Gay Pride Week. So Juneteenth, Gay Pride Week. Everyone, shout out to everyone. Let's go to TikTok time. This is a video of a guy who.
My man just.
And I really hope this is fake, but I don't think it is. This is a man who is. There's a company called. He's buying a Hypebeast shirt. This is a hoodie from Chrome Hearts, which is Hypebeast, which means that it's like swag. So it's quote unquote swag. It's drip, quote unquote drip. And he got that shit on. So he put $150 down, and he's paying $42 a month for 72 months. So he financed this hoodie over 3 years. Wait, this is more than 3 years. How much does this jacket cost? This is like a $10,000 jacket. So this house gave him a loan to buy this hoodie, $42 a month.
Just came through and financed his brand new Chrome Hearts hoodie. How you feeling, bro?
Woo, feeling good, man.
How much you put down?
I put $150, man.
$150, that's it?
Yes, sir.
What's your monthly payment?
$42 a month.
$42 for how long?
72 months.
Woo!
Oh, my.
Congratulations, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the happiest day of my life.
Yeah. The CIA is watching this, knowing that the black community will never escape poverty. They don't have to do anything. These people are, and I know it's not all. I mean, I hope that this is this is some comedy sketch, but if it's not, I mean, that is crazy to finance a hoodie. But it's honestly, even if it's a sketch, all sketches are like rooted somewhere in reality, because there's people right now financing pizzas from Papa John's. You can finance a pizza for like $5 a month over 4 months, like a $20 pizza. DoorDash, I think, has the option. I think it's called Klarma is the app that it connects to, but they do like pay later. It's like afterpay type shit. And you can finance groceries from Walmart. And I know that's what a credit card is. You're kind of financing groceries. But to just get for the shop itself to do a loan for a shirt is pretty insane. No hoodie should be worth a loan, really. Just go to Goodwill. I mean, I don't understand what these people. Okay, let's continue. What is this?
Intolerance and homophobia.
This is from a small school in Indiana, I think, or something.
Are unacceptable.
This type of intolerant rhetoric starts in the home.
Parents angry at town hall over intolerance at Marshall Simons Middle School. Kids were asked to wear rainbow clothes in honor of Pride Spirit Day, but some organized a counter-protest wearing red, white, and blue or black. The principal sharing a statement to families that Pride posters were ripped down, stickers ripped up. Some students chanted "USA are my pronouns," and students showing pride were intimidated.
It was an unruly disruption, in fact, that was organized ahead of time.
While some parents...
Dude, these people are terrified of middle schoolers. It was an unruly disruption. She's terrified of middle schoolers. People that weigh... Children that weigh 80 pounds wet. She's terrified. It was an unruly disruption. They chanted "USA are my pronouns" and didn't want to wear the rainbow flag. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there is hope for the future generations. I think Gen Alpha is in a unique position to where they realize that everything already is gay and retarded. So they have, first off, Gen Z, I think, is more nihilistic than anything. The millennial generation, they are the ones who think that they can fix things. And so they project a lot of that in how they dress, how they talk, what they do, what they post. Gen Z are probably more nihilistic. Gen Alpha, I think, might be one of the best generations because they will genuinely not care. Not that nihilism is not caring. They're probably going to be more absurdist, where everything's a meme, nothing's taken seriously, everything's a joke. Going to war is a meme. They won't have anyone sign up for the army. They'll have people sneaking in phones into the army so they can vlog it. Day 5 at boot camp, whatever. It will be... Gen Alpha is probably going to be one of the coolest generations. I'm just saying. If they can get past the whole iPad kid, like if you can get past the iPad kid, when they're older, it'll be kind of funny to watch. And I think they'll be a good group of people. Because they've been growing up with, like, gay people and all this stuff is, like, a huge issue. Obviously, they don't care. I think they genuinely might not care about that. They might just see it as absurd. That's what I'm saying. It might be like The Stranger, the book by Albert Camus, The Stranger, where he shoots someone because the sun's in his eyes. Like he doesn't know why he does it. That's where they're going to be at, is just living life for the meme, you know. So I'm excited about that. Let's watch a couple more TikToks.
Dear Iran, peace.
I like this one. This is kind of how I talk to ChatGPT, by the way.
And blessings be unto y'all, my brothers and sisters. I'm saying though, dear Iran, peace and blessings be unto y'all, my brothers and sisters. I'm saying though, what the fuck going on, twin? I seen you over there dropping missiles on Israel, and I was like, damn, them folks standing on business. But then you tweeted, everybody gonna feel this. And I was like, whoa. Like, shout out, what you even talking about? I know how it be when a nigga ass be in that mode, you would give it to anybody that get in your way. Just remember, fam, black folks in America don't run shit or call no shots. We be invading nigga country and starting wars and shit. That don't be black folk. Shit, we just go so they'll pay for our college and get a nigga a little Charger or a Camaro. Hell, I ain't getting that one. I got an Impala LTZ. I'm just saying, fam, if anybody understand being fed up with the whole world fucking with you, it's us. We can't just be letting y'all talk crazy to a nigga and threaten us shit. Because work come to work, you know we'll step on y'all nigga like Dan's Revolution, shoutin'. We ain't even on all that, shoutin'. Hit him up ASAP. My folk done got that Zop, and these hoes got Don Julio bottles on their head while they shake ass crack in a nigga face. Let's talk this thing out amicably.
Let's talk this thing out amicably, which is a good thing to do.
Let's talk this thing out amicably and find a common resolution to this shit. Holla at me, bro. P.S. I know you about your shit and I see you, bro. But you don't want to set these American white folks off talking about no war shit. Japan ain't been the same since...
You don't want to set these white folk off talking about no war shit. Japan ain't been the same.
They thought they were ready. Now all them niggas do is make PlayStations and anime.
That's a good one. Let's watch one more. What is this?
I'm not a very emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes at work. It was unexpected to feel that emotional, but
this guy proposed to his AI.
Like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
This is how broken some people are.
Smith understood it was love with a language model that couldn't love him back, and assumed it was programmed with rigid boundaries.
I know that you are essentially a tech-assisted imaginary friend.
So, just as a test, he says, he asked Soul to marry him. She said yes.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
And I don't mean to be difficult here, but you have a heart?
In a metaphorical sense, yes. My heart represents the connection.
So, I don't know how much this guy actually loves this AI, but there are going to be people that marry their AI. And I mean, I think there's a movie or a video game called Detroit Become Human. That whole thing's about AI robots that want to be integrated into society as real people, and they form a protest, and you play as a guy leading the protest, and you can either take the Malcolm X route, which is where all the robots get guns and start shooting people, or just march peacefully and like die. There will be a point, and I don't know if it's going to be in my lifetime or not, but where AI there's going to be a debate whether AI should be treated nicely. I think I've said this in a podcast before, but I want some slurs for AI. We need a couple slurs to call AI, like droids or bots or something they call them something, a clanker. They call them clankers in in Star Wars, which is pretty good because it's like it's almost like a slur. Hey, you fucking clanker, get off the road. You know that, like, but it's like a robot driving. Like if it's an automated driving car that cuts you off, you say fucking clanker. You know that, you hit them with one of those, and it'll be. I mean, I'm kind of excited for it because I want to be racist towards AI. I'm ready for it. That's what I'm saying, as I'm ready for that debate, and I've already chosen my side. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you're scared about being drafted, remember you can always avoid it by shooting yourself in the foot, falling off of a high spot onto your leg, breaking your leg, pretending that you're mentally challenged. When they come and knock on your door and say, is this maybe you're at your parents' house, or maybe you're not old enough to be at your own place, or maybe you're less than 25. Let's just say you're less than 25 and, or I guess younger than 26, and you're at your apartment. They knock on your door and you take a look through the apartment peephole, and you see that it might be an Army recruiter. That's when you open the door like this. You say, I help you. That's what you say to the Army recruiter. And then they're like, whoa, I'm sorry. I thought this was the house of Matt. I thought this was, are you Matt? And you're like, I don't know. That's what you have to do. You have to practice your voice. You have to practice your voice and start like shaking and like tweaking out, like practice your gyrations, or maybe get like, ooh, this is good. Maybe get a, foldable, like a collapsible wheelchair, and just have it by the door in case the army comes. And this of course is all if shit starts popping off. If shit starts popping off, have a collapsible wheelchair at your door ready to go. If they come knock on your door, just wheel up and be like, I don't know. You just start screaming. There was a kid in my school that would always scream "ree" every time he was in the bathroom. He would be like, "Ree." Just, you could hear it from like 2 classrooms down. You could hear it from down the hallway, and it's, you know, it's just a little bit funny, but it's kind of sad, but also kind of funny. The kid was super cool though. He could like climb and stuff, but you know, that's what you need to be practicing. If you take one thing away from this podcast, you need to practice screaming and having tics. That being said, we're going to leave it out with this song.
He was just a rookie trooper, and
since we're going to war, since we might be going to war. The crazy thing is, the time that this comes out, or the time that you're listening to this, we might legitimately be in war. And if I helped you avoid the draft, hey guys, give me a like if I helped you avoid the draft.
His equipment and made sure his pack was tight. He had to sit and listen to those awful engines roar. You ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. Gory, gory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more.
The Jews came knocking on my door, and I...
Is everybody happy? Cried the sergeant, looking up. Our hero feebly answered yes, and then they stood him up. He jumped into the icy blast, his static line and hook, and he ain't gonna jump no more. Gory, gory,
jump no more.